his Super Bowl loss to the Buccaneers that he was playing a little too much backyard football. This season, he's the MVP favorite and leads the league in passing despite career lows in deep completions and average depth of target. The Ringer called this Mahomes' next step of improvement. They want him to get, quote, more boring. Shannon, does Pat Mahomes need to be more boring?
No, and nothing's changed by Pat Mahomes, Skip. He still can throw the deep ball, and he's still throwing shots over his head, behind his back. He's doing all the things that you dislike about him. He's just doing it not to Tyreek Hill. Skip, he had a record, 13 players with at least one catch of at least 20 yards or more. He had 9 guys finish with at least 15 receptions. That's more than throwing the ball to Travis Kelce. Now, is Juju a number 1 receiver? What about Marquez Valdez-Scantling? What about Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore? Are any of those number 1s? No. But he had a career high in completion percentage, 67%, a career high in passing yards, 5,250, and the second best touchdown of 41 in his career. And he did all that, but he's boring. Look at this tape. I mean, I want to give me the cut-ups of the ones that he's doing all these trick shots where he throws the one. Remember, he shot the pass to against Tampa, Skip?
Yep.
With Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he threw the hook shot in Denver. Look at this. Yeah, that's boring. That's some really boring football right there. Woo! Man, look at this so boring. An underhand shovel pass. Man, that's really, really boring. Look at this, Skip. Man, that's so boring. I was just, wow. Sidearm.
Wait a second. Did you request?
Look at this, Skip.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's boring.
Wait, could we see the interceptions he threw to end the game at Indianapolis, the careless interception, and the one he threw to end the game against Buffalo at home?
They said, but I'm just saying, they said he was boring.
No, that's not what they said. They said he needs to play more. But he agreed in an interview, this is a year ago, I need to play more boring football because I do get too careless with the football.
Do you think he played less boring this year?
Yeah.
Do you think
was he more boring? Yes, he was more boring. It means more careful with the football. It means, and we got all the way to the AFC Championship game. You don't think it benefited him to have an ankle issue against Joe Burrow?
No!
Because it forced him for the first time to stay in the pocket and make more careful throws. That's how he won that game. No. What did he say about the Brady Super Bowl when he stunk for the whole game and you gave him a pass? He wasn't protected. Baloney, he wasn't protected. He even said after the game, I bolted the pocket too often when I had a clean pocket because it's what he's encouraged to do. Andy Reid lets him get away with near murder. And sometimes it works because he is supremely gifted. And a lot of times he gets bitten by his own carelessness.
But see, Patrick Mahomes understand. That's what you say. I bolted the pocket when I had a clean pocket. So therefore, I don't put the onus on my offensive line. Because if he said I stayed in the pocket and I was getting pressure, who does that blame fall on? He said, I'm going to put it all on myself. While you keep talking about, protection. So why was Tom Brady so bad this year since he had all the protection? Because you told me protection didn't matter. Because Patrick Mahomes was running for his life. And I saw Tom Brady ain't never looked like this.
By the way, Tom Brady's offensive line this year was 24th in pass block win rate. Patrick Mahomes' offensive line in Kansas City was #1 in pass block win rate. He was protected better than any quarterback in the NFL this year, and he benefited from it.
Hold up. Tom Brady's offensive line was 24th in pass protection?
Yeah.
And Tom Brady was what, 19th in QBR? It was 31st in yards per attempt.
Yeah.
So he was pretty bad to go with a bad offensive line. That was a perfect match. Like a suit and tie. They look great together.
And yet he didn't have the greatest receiving tight end in the history of football, even better than Shannon Sharp.
So to go,
by your own admission. By your own admission.
I ain't got no problem with you saying Trav better than me. He is. I said this a couple of years ago. He's on case. When it's all said and done, he's going to have a very compelling case to be the greatest. I think Gronk is that right now. But I think with another Super Bowl, another couple of seasons, he will have that case to be made for him. But all I'm saying is, Skip, is that when you look at what he's done, hold on. Darius Slay couldn't even remember one of the receivers' names. He said they got Juju, and what's that other guy's name? Dang, I forgot. Do you think the Kansas City DBs don't know who A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, do you think they know who they are?
Yeah, but I guarantee you Darius Slay knows exactly who Travis Kelce is because he is unstoppable and unguardable.
Skip, look at all the guys, 13 guys. You don't know the 13 receivers on Kansas City roster that caught a pass.
For once, Patrick Mahomes was Brady-esque, throwing it, spreading the wealth, right? That's
But
what
he
Tom
throwing it
Brady
down the
did.
field. Tom Brady ain't throwing up a little screen pass.
That's not true.
He lying
Because last
fishing.
year he led the whole NFL in air distance.
Skip, he hit a long fly ball. Just because you throwing it deep don't mean you completing it.
All I know is when I saw Tom Brady play Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship game, he got the better
Okay,
of
let
it.
me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you saw him play this year, Patrick Mahomes, what'd you see? Pat Mahomes dropped 41 on him. Tom
Yep,
Brady did have
he did.
300 yards,
Yep.
but none of them came when the score was within one score. They were down 17,
Okay.
down 14.
Okay, now you get to play a real team in the
now
Super Bowl.
All right, I'm cutting you off.
He done
Cut
jumped
me
ship
off.
on
That's
Tom
it.
Brady.
That's
He's
it.
an Eagles fan.
Time out.
team.
Time out. We'll be back in just a minute to talk about Kyrie and the Mavericks. Stick with us right here. Teams were the top seed in their respective conferences. A lot of interesting little matchups there.
Yeah.
Shannon, who to you is more valuable, Jalen or Patrick?
I don't believe either team would be here without said quarterback, but there's no question in my mind Patrick Mahomes is more better. It's better, not more better. It's better, it's more valuable than Jalen Hurts. And that's not to take anything away from Jalen Hurts because I think he's turned himself, as you mentioned, Jen, into an MVP candidate. But Patrick Mahomes, Skip, I mean, what he's able to do and what he's asked to do with less. Now, you look at what they gave Jalen Hurts. They gave him more. They extracted from Patrick Mahomes Tyreek Hill, and he still went out and had an MVP season. You say, well, he has Travis Kelce. Yeah, he threw 1,400 yards to Travis Kelce, but he threw another 3,700 to guys like Juju, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Sky Moore, and guys of that nature. And you're like, how? And he said, I'm not going to change. It's just going to look a lot different. And he's still Patrick Mahomes. There's no question in my mind, Skip. He's the best player in the league. Therefore, he's more valuable than Jalen Hurts. Not to say Jalen Hurts doesn't have value, but he's more valuable, and he can just do more things. He's asked to do more things because he doesn't have the surrounding cast around him like a Jalen Hurts. So for me, I don't. You really asked me this? With a straight face, you did that, didn't you? Man, stop playing. Everybody know. Everybody know. Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes? There it is.
I think I'm hearing a whole lot of Jalen Hurts.
No, even the guy with the Eagles jersey don't say Patrick Mahomes. I heard it.
It is now my turn.
Okay.
I hear all you say about Patrick Mahomes. If you want Globetrotter highlights, if you want between the legs, behind the back, no look, left-handed, all those things, if you want inhuman highlights, I give you Patrick Mahomes. If you want bodacious stats, if you want Star Wars stats, I give you Patrick Mahomes. If I want the better football player, I'm taking Jalen Hurts. I believe Jalen Hurts will beat Patrick Mahomes head to head. I'm not drinking anything.
Oh, something got to be in that cup. You just said that out loud.
I've been wondering what's in your cup today is what I've been wondering. I first guessed Jalen Hurts.
You did?
I told you, or I told Twitter, the day he was drafted, the moment he was drafted, Philly just changed his life. You liked Carson Wentz. You didn't love him, but you liked him. Mm-hmm. He is everything that Jalen is not because there's no leadership factor in Carson Wentz. He was combine perfect. He was bubble perfect, where if you just put him in a vacuum, Carson Wentz, he's 6'5", 240 with a Mahomes-style arm, you know, that kind of a big cannon. He can move. Carson's pretty athletic for his size, I give you. So he's got that Josh Allen thing going. Mm-hmm. In the end, can you make a play when it has to get made? Can you lead a football team the way you led your football teams, the way Ray Lewis led his? These are different positions. Your position is different than quarterback.
Right.
But Jalen Hurts is you and Ray Lewis all wrapped into a quarterback who's going to beat you multiple ways during a football game when it's time to beat you. He has as great a football backbone that I've ever seen, because he was raised by a father who was his high school football coach, and he was raised the right way. He's tough, he's physical, and under fire, he is at his very best. That team will run through locker room brick walls for him, because he immediately took over and changed the culture in Philadelphia, because he led them in the weight room. He leads them on the practice field. He leads them on the sideline. He leads them in the locker room. He leads them in the huddle. And when it's time to make a play, he'll make it with his arm or his legs. And you conceded, man, you want to talk about improvement.